We've done it already.
Pop. Pop, pop. Pop. Pop, pop. Pop. Pop, pop. Pop. Pop.
That didn't get in. Ha ha! Hello and welcome to Misfits and Monsters. I'm your scary neighbourhood dungeon master, Aaron, and this week I have been mostly listening to the Witcher audiobooks. So there you go.
Oh, great.
If you haven't listened to or read the books for that matter, I would highly recommend doing so because they are very, 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 very good.
Peter Kenny's performance is great.
Even better than the television series, if you like the television series, you must seek out the source material. Okay, that's enough waffle from me. We're minus a Pat because of coronavirus. Let's just blame everything on COVID-19 or whatever the fuck strain it is.
COVID-19.
Corbin-19.
Corbin.
Oh, what could have been? Oh, sorry, we're not political.
No politics. Keep politics away from our stream. Except the politics that exists within the Forgotten Realms. Find a Corbin analogue for the Forgotten Realms. But with us today, we do have everybody else, more or less, minus a couple of other deviants.
Ancillary characters.
Yeah. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Haz. Please, Haz.
Hello.
Educators.
Edumacate. Re-edumacate, yeah. Hello, I'm Haz, the not-so-tough walking hay-puff. Takes a bite out of a crime like Scruff McGuff, or at least a nibble. He doesn't have much of an appetite.
There you go. There you go.
That was brief.
It was brief. That wasn't as epic as
brief.
normal. It's normally like an addendum punchline. Oh, okay.
What, sorry? I was going to say what I was reading or listening to, but I've totally fucking lost it.
Oh, well.
Yeah. It'll come back to me.
Yeah. So, if anything occurs, let us know. So, Kat, because you're still eating, I'm going to offer you. I'm going to offer you a challenge.
I'm so behind schedule on dinner tonight. You have no idea. So I'm Kat, and I play Kayla, and she's just as fiery as the cheese on this pizza right now. She's about age. I don't know. Maybe she probably likes blue cheese. I feel like she'd be into blue cheese and wine. Cheese and wine.
Strong stuff.
But yeah. She's about my age. She likes whips and fire, and yeah.
Surely she'd be more like a cheese fondant that's like got melted cheese, because then she can melt.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So like Swiss Gruyere or something.
Is this what we do? We're going to say our favourite cheese, character cheeses.
Well, my
What cheese
favourite
are you?
cheese is Danish blue. So Kayla's is too.
Alright.
Fucking weirdo.
What's Bramble's favourite cheese, Haz?
Brambles. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, we did.
Still have these. Here they are.
You went wrong.
Like, it's too late, guys. They've come to get me.
A quick Gotcha.
Roll D20.
He coughed.
I know, right?
Take it away.
Shit! You can't on stream! Yeah, that'd be the fucking worst. Bramble's favourite cheese. Oh, it's gonna be something it's gonna be like goat cheese or something weird, isn't it?
Goat cheese is great.
It's like upturned noses that it has as you said that. Everyone's just like,
I'm like, oh.
it's cheese.
Like, you're disgusting. No, it's gonna be like a Wensleydale.
Cranberry.
Oh, cranberry?
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, you're up.
All right. I'm Mike. I'm playing Ezra. I'm gonna freestyle it this time because I've read from those things too many times.
And he's drunk.
He's a bard. He's a little pretentious. Likes the finer things in life.
Like cheese?
Likes to big up the adventures of the Misfits. Maybe a little bit of exaggeration in there at the same time. But that's just what sells a good story, right? That's what he's about.
Nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the exaggerated truth.
What sort of high-end cheese product would?
So I cheated. I've just googled most expensive cheese in the world. Poo. I don't even know how you say it. But
Poo?
whatever that is, $600 a pound.
Poo is a kind of
That's
cheese.
Expensive cheese.
Wow.
So that's what he'd have.
All right. That's what he would be securing from his aristocratic
That's what Daddy would buy him.
table in Waterdeep. All right, Max.
Hi, I'm Max. I play a character called Bulk. Whips and flames, demons and chains.
Wait.
No, that's not my one. I'm feeling a bit fucked up. I think I died last week. Yeah. I mean, I guess my favourite cheese is a nice classic gnomish cheese.
Called
The
Is a gnomish cheese a cheese from the milk of gnome?
just like Mama used to churn.
breast milk cheese.
Yeah.
Mmm.
We call it Mama's feta.
You're better off without it, mate.
The bard's coming out of him.
This is what 2 beers does to Mike.
Grog's favourite cheese is probably like spicy Mexican cheese or sawdust. Yeah.
Spice. What's a Mexican analog in the Forgotten Realms? Right.
A cha-cha-cha.
I don't know. Spice.
Chipper might be able to
Chilled
tell us.
mastican. It's spicy mastican cheese.
It's made with big mouthed dung. Real spicy.
That sounds disgusting.
Nutty and spicy.
Oh,
Craig, also known as Craig.
Craig. Yeah.
Gifters.
I play Craig, a reptilian bugbear fighter. His friend's not in with the Misfits as well. They're like a beacon of evil.
A beacon of evil.
Yeah, for evil, I should say. Craig's favourite cheese is probably like, toe jam. Whatever's growing.
Toe
Whatever's
cheese.
growing on something.
Between his own toes.
Just sample it.
Likes to
Self-made.
savour his own flavour.
Yeah, it's quite funny.
Alright,
Cheese
cool.
is back on the menu.
So, you were still in the midst of a battle to the death with your evil counterparts that had accosted you in the court of the the court of the White Bull, and you were surrounded by a host of shadowy clothed children that you recognised as being some of the cheeky urchins that had insulted you during your tenure with the Dung Sweepers over the last 10 days.
They've ascended from cheeky into more
Murderous.
Yeah.
So they were hemming you in by firing like a hail of arrows periodically at you to prevent you from straying too far, while your malignant counterparts were engaging you in direct combat. You've killed the warlock of the group, apparently. But you were
What do you mean a Apparently. That just sounds ominous.
You know, who knows what pact he's made with whatever. You don't know.
He was like the Tesco equivalent version of the Warlock.
You don't know
Not
him.
really like that.
So
He's whack,
yeah,
is what I'm saying.
you are still in combat. So let the session begin. So it's currently the dung sweeper's turn, and they were struggling to get underneath the cart. So yeah, Jasper took an arrow in the buttock, and did Cameron make it to the cart? I can't bloody remember. Or was he still out in the open? I think he was still out in the open, and Faith was trying to help him. Or did he make it? What's the consensus here?
He was trying to get there.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get there. Yeah.
Okay, well, regardless of this turn, he finally makes it under the cart, so all of the dung sweepers, despite their injuries they've received, are now taking shelter safely underneath their wagon. So the kids fire a volley at you all. Can you all make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Look at this last week.
It happens
I
every
think of it a lot.
on every round.
Good start, a natural 20.
Nice. So Ezra deftly just manoeuvres himself between the falling shafts. Not letting come even close.
What was it?
Are you laughing at my choice of phrasing there, Kat?
No.
Oh yeah. Steady on.
14.
14 is a fail, unfortunately.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Cray.
Bramble also got a 14.
Oh, that's a
So
fail.
you failed.
Cray.
What's the saving throw?
Dex save.
Dex.
Yeah.
17.
You're good.
18, sorry.
What about
8 and 6, so no.
both failures? So those of you that failed are all going to get 2d6 of piercing damage, which is... You all take 8 points of piercing damage as you're impaled by a number of arrow shafts.
Do saves take half or no?
No, you just completely avoid.
Grog is unconscious.
Oh.
So Grogger is unconscious. Man,
Oh.
what it took to take him out. I don't think I've ever knocked him unconscious. Have
He
I?
hasn't got as much health as Cobra. He's only got 100 and
So the monk, squaring off against his counterpart in the form of our half-orc super monk Sith, he lays hands on himself and he restores some of his health to himself visibly. Like you can see some of his wounds begin to steadily close up. So he is now more or less healed himself. So let's see, what would that be?
Okay, let's set him on fire.
Fire!
Get him like hot cheese.
I will turn you into
So
a
I googled Pule cheese, and it's actually donkey's cheese.
It's not sad.
The most expensive cheese in the world is donkey's cheese. How odd is that?
What part of the donkey is that from? Okay, so he's done that, and that's his turn over with. So the dwarf that is currently was he frightened still? I believe he was, wasn't he?
And he's been forced to walk away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
As you, Ezra, I forced him to.
So I can make a saving throw though to try and dispel this guy. Well, so what was the saving throw? Was it a wisdom save? Because he was compelled, wasn't he?
Compulsion. You might not have that spell, but you do now.
So he rolls 18, and that's a save no matter what. As far as
Wisdom save.
So suddenly he's like, what came over me? This won't do! You bastards! How dare you mess with my mind! And he turns around and he charges back into the fray towards... Who's the next nearest person here? I suppose it would be...
Don't you do those saves at the end of their turn?
Normally they do it at the beginning of the turn, don't they? What does it say in the spell?
Creatures are interested. It can take its action before it moves. After moving in this way, it can make another wisdom save to try and end the effect.
So it can only do it at the end of its turn. Okay. So I can't move and I can't move before I can't
What was
do
the
the
save?
save before moving. Then
Compulsion. It's a fourth level spell enchantment.
I let them do it as a bonus because you were missing last week, Mike. So
We needed to get a boy
yeah,
away.
I gave them some perks because they needed them. So I can't do that before moving.
So it sounds like you do the movement and then you do the save.
You can move further away, and then you've saved.
So he was both compelled and frightened. Is that right? So I can only do one save per turn. So frightened. That's against your. So what was that? Was that a wisdom save?
If you rolled 18.
I'd say the compulsion is more.
Yeah. So he still can't move towards Cray. So he's just gonna have to keep moving off the map. So for the time being,
It sounds like he can do an action first. So if there's anything he wants to do as an action,
well, I can't attack Cray because I'm frightened of him. So I can't.
then there's not a lot you can do.
Can I attack Cray if I'm frightened?
No, I think.
No, I can. I just have to do it with a disadvantage. Okay.
I think. Sorry, you can't move towards them.
So I'm going to move towards Bramble instead. Like, yeah! So he just comes charging to aid the tiefling.
Oh, fuck.
Makes with disadvantage because I am frightened. So I'm no longer compelled, but I am still frightened of Cray.
That sounds right.
Oh, I rolled a nat 20 on the dice. But I've got disadvantage, so it's a failure, I think. Hang on.
Well, let's roll another nat 20.
So I can actually use Fighting Spirit to negate the disadvantage, so it's just a normal attack.
Don't do that.
So that's now gone, unless I can recharge it.
What
And
the
I do
hell did I
recharge.
ever do to this guy?
Okay, so that is a nat 20, unfortunately. So
Oh, if it kills you. Who said that?
Oh,
Don't like his voice.
so I'm going to do 4 greatsword attacks against you.
4. Wow.
So the first one
Hey,
hits.
boy!
So that's going to be 12 plus 2d6.
They're literally killing their best option of saving the whole of Faerun.
Yeah. Who's diplomatic? Someone explain this.
That's 25 points of slashing damage on you from the first hit, Chupa.
Chupa.
Bramble, sorry. Oh, callback to the old character. That is an 18, so that is also a hit. So that's 14 points of slashing damage. So another attack. Oh shit. 18 plus. That's 23 to hit. That's a hit. That's 11 points of slashing damage. And the last attack, 18. Is that a hit? It is, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's another 14 points of slashing damage against you, and that's my turn over.
Flipping Nora.
Yeah.
He fucked you up good.
The
He
mage.
fucked me up, dude.
Where is he?
In the bin.
He's not in that bin.
What are you in the bin?
Oh, he's dead. The mage is dead, isn't he?
Yeah, it's in the bin.
You need to take him off. Yeah, you
Yeah.
killed him and the warlock.
We called 2 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
He died. So put this sheet away. Here he is. So spiritual weapon is still in effect, so that's good. So I'm going to make a. So he's going to attack you with his mace. Oh, that's terrible. 11, that's a miss, isn't it? On you, Bramble.
Who did this? Sorry,
Who dis?
the tiefling.
Yeah.
New phone who dis?
Yes, new phone. Who dis? New character. Who dis? At this point.
Uh,
Yeah, that's a miss.
26 is a hit, though, isn't it? So that's
Fuck
going to
yeah, it
be
is.
2d6. That's 11 points of bludgeoning damage. And then with his spiritual weapon, which is that glowing red pterodactyl-looking thing, it dives bombs towards you once more, trying to rake at you with its claws. And shit, what does it use?
How'd you kids?
Oh, plus 7 to hit.
How'd you kids? How'd you wife?
18 is a hit, isn't it?
Yeah, 18's a hit.
Yeah. So. Just need to look at the damage dice for that. 1d8. Okay. So that
Who's
is.
got a really big spell?
I've got a level 5 spell that I can do.
Yeah, just point it at someone.
I'm going to point it at those
Yeah.
two bad guys.
Yeah.
I've got one.
So you take 15 points of slashing
Mate.
damage.
We're in single fucking digits.
Oh.
Uh,
We're not doing great.
We're not doing great.
the gladiator, who's currently facing off against an unconscious Groggart and Cray, when he sees the ogre go down, he's just like, "Now it's my time to retrieve what is owed, but first you must go too." And he turns his attention towards you, Cray, and swings at you.
Oh no! What if we all go down? Are we saying if we all go down, we're dead?
No one's saying that.
I'm saying it.
You reap what you sow, you bastards!
I mean, that feels like that would be game over.
Okay. That is... Where the heck is it? That is 15, that's a miss for the first attack. Goes again. That's a 18. Is that a hit?
That's a hit.
Okay. So that's 10 points of piercing damage. And then he's got one more attack. 16. 20, 22, that is a hit for definite. 11 points of piercing damage as he slashes you 2 times, first forehand, then backhand.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll parry one of them.
Go for it. What does that do? Halve it? Or just to completely negate it?
Subtract the D10 as well.
Okay, go on then. So it's 11 damage. So you take away...
5.
5 plus 3, 8.
Yep, okay.
What was it? 11?
Yeah, so that's 3. Is that right? Yeah.
Ah.
That's good. So he's done with that. It's now the bard who's currently locked in combat with Kayla and Ezra. And he, once I find his bloody
I'll
cheat...
speak to you.
Oh, you burnt his... Didn't you burn his hat and hair away?
Yeah.
He's like bald. He's been balded.
Oh yeah, right.
And he soiled his breeches as well.
That's for the best of us.
He's in the best. He's in the worst shape possible. He's dishevelled. He's like, for
Pretty
what
sure
you have done to me, I will exact true.
Oh, fuck you!
Punishment in kind. I make you shit yourselves, and I burn all your hair off too.
I haven't got any hair. Has he got a spell for that? Shit, and burning my hair off.
Didn't we already cast a spell for that?
I seem to recall Ezra using plenty of cutting words on him as well. Not that you were here, but
But you did.
he was in
You're
character.
very helpful in your absence.
So he lunges towards you, Ezra, like fencing at you with his rapier, his scimitar. Sorry, not his rapier.
Whoa. Whoa. On guard, my fellow.
That's a 21 to hit. So that's
How does it hit?
that is 8 slashing damage.
63 then.
And then he does.
Quickly bard him back. Do a bard
Yeah,
thing.
bard off, bard off, bard off.
And I can do an additional D8 damage
You want
to
I
Kayla.
really wish you wouldn't.
So he brings a sword around from the end of the blow to slash it like Kayla as well beside him.
It's kind of dick.
So he does 4 slashing damage to you, Kayla, as well. And that's his turn over with. It's now back to the top of the round, and it's Ezra. What are you going to do?
Alright, so seeing that Grog has fallen to the ground, I'm going to use a bonus action to cast a healing word on him. So I will recover some amount of health to him. Although, I guess do you recover the health, or does it just put them on 1 hit point? I can't ever remember how this.
What are you using?
But he's downed, isn't he?
Yeah.
So when we do healing to him, does it? I don't remember what
It
it
will
does.
stabilise him, and
So it'll just stabilise him.
Yeah, and it will
Do I even need to roll for that? For how much health I recover?
Yeah,
or?
yeah, he'll recover the health that you roll as well. So,
Alright.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, that's how we're doing it today. Fuck it.
So 13 health.
Nice. So Grog rouses. Have you?
I guess he's still prone though, right?
Yeah. Is Boggart like just like holding onto the back of his head, like wake up? Or is
I think. Oh wait.
Probably crushed underneath him, probably can't
he
move.
fell forward.
okay, so he's just like yeah. So you're just kind of like sitting up in your saddle.
Yeah, looking straight on at this big fucking huge humongous
Goliath.
Yeah. Also, I'm not as big now.
Oh, if you reduced, okay. So Ezra, anything
That was
else?
my bonus action. For my action, I will riposte. I shall use my short sword and fight back.
Your ass.
It's a bunch. 19 and a bunch.
19. All
And a bunch. Is that a hit?
right. Yes, that is a hit, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will use the what's it, doodad? Divine Smite to do an extra 5d8. So bear with.
Nice.
33
30.
damage in total. Some of it's radiant. I don't know if you care. Some of it's radiant. Some of it's.
Spicy.
So after those series of attacks, he takes the hits and he's just like, and you can just see him like being reduced visibly in front of you, and he drops to his knees and he's like, "Go on then, finish it if you can. Put me out of my misery and disgrace."
So I do actually have an extra attack.
All
So
right.
gladly. It's easily a hit. Although not a particularly spectacular one. That is 8 slashing damage. Sorry, piercing.
Okay, yeah. So how do you end him? Tell us what happens.
I just stab him through the gut.
He's like, "You were obviously the better man. Who am I? was better dressed. And then he collapses to the floor.
Attacking people in the street like this is no way to behave. It's time for you to...
I like to think as he was doing that, he like really dragged it out like a good solid.
So he's on the floor just going, the light grows dim. I can hear my mother calling.
Sweet Patricia.
Yeah. Bonzo, is that you? Come, lick my face again like you used to when I was a boy. And it's oh, the agony!
One of the Warlocks guys.
Bonzo wasn't a dog. It was his uncle.
And now I die. And he collapses again.
But first,
And then-
before I do that, let me tell you the story of.
He's fucking down. I'm not doing any more of that. Okay. The joke has run its course. Cray Cray, your turn.
Oh, hi, Frail. Well, I guess I'm near this big fucking turn. Or attack. What is it? 15, does that hit?
The Goliath. I don't believe that is a hit. Nope.
Okay. So. Shall I use that?
Funny. It'll be funny. Do it. You've done it now.
I've used my gift from calamari, and it's my hat of inversion.
Okay. Yeah.
And I've seen what he's just rolled.
It just turned me into an orangutan.
Let's see if I've got an orangutan in here.
Do you have an orangutan? Yeah.
It'd be like an ape, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's in there.
I've not got any in my library.
Oh, excellent. What were the other options?
I could have turned it inside out.
Well, you're an orangutan. We're just going to have to persist in using your token as it is, and just imagine that you're an orange, hairy, grey ape.
Can I attack him?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you got orangutan stats there?
I'm just stunning orangutan.
I have ape stats if you want them.
Yeah, there won't be around.
Make a fist melee weapon attack or throw a rock as a ranged attack. You can make 2 fist attacks.
First attack.
+5 to hit.
Roll your dice. Oh, roll your dice. Roll your dice.
Add 5.
Roll.
Wow, that's not good. Plus 14 to hit.
To hit, that's a miss, fortunately.
Only attack
You make two fist attacks, so you know another go.
17 plus 5, that definitely hits.
Yep, that's a hit. But I'm going to use parry to add +5. Did you say 17 +5? Okay, fuck it. No, I'm not. Yeah, that's going to hit no matter what I do. Yeah, roll your damage.
That's 1d6 plus 3 bludgeon.
6 plus
3, 9.
9 bludgeoning
Not
damage.
bad. Good going, though.
Okay,
Who was this ape? Sorry, I'm confused.
Cray Cray got turned.
Why did Cray Cray get turned into an ape?
Because his craftsman's gift from Calamari was a hat of inversion, and you can pull the magically imbued corks off that dangle from the rim off to create an effect. And if you, it's like a carnival, like a wild magic thing, so it's unpredictable. So it can either work in your favour or against you. And this time it worked against Cray Cray, and he got turned into an orangutan.
So,
Yeah.
You have the intelligence of an orangutan.
never look better, Cray Cray.
So the Goliath takes the hits like, what is this devilry? It's like, regardless, you will still fall beneath my blade. So is that it for Cray Cray? I believe it is. It's
still have
what?
my two. My two.
Yeah. No one took it off you. But you'd have to use. That's an action, isn't it? To use it? Yeah.
Can I? Oh,
What have you use that? Did you use anything else?
might be an action to do it.
I think it is an action to use the hat version. Have you not got the description for it?
Yeah, but it's just like a little blibby blob. Doesn't go any more.
Yeah, it's an action.
So that's it.
Okay, so are you're staying where you are? I'm assuming.
Yeah, because I want to protect Grog and Von.
It's now your turn.
Well, so yeah,
Grog.
Grog's got some. So he went down, like face first, and the Goliath in front of him sort of taunted him, and then he just gets raised by the healing and just shoots up like a white from Game of Thrones. Just and then Bog's gonna cast Healing Word on him as well.
Okay.
As a bonus action. So that is.
What classes don't have healing word?
Fighters.
7
I don't.
H.
Warlocks don't have healing words either, I don't think.
That's too bad.
And then as Bog's attack, as long as I don't go out of reach of the Goliath, do I not take so can I go around behind him?
Yeah, you can move around as long as you're still within that 5 foot reach radius. That's.
I would think a Goliath probably has a 10-foot reach. But yeah.
Well, he's enlarged as well, so yeah, you will have. Yeah.
Either way, you can move around.
Yeah, can I move round sort of behind him and line him up so I can get the Goliath and the dwarf and the tiefling or whoever it is in a line, and then I want to cast Cone of Cold.
Okay, so you have skipped behind him basically. You're like there. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just might hit has.
It's alright.
Well-
He was
You mean that character on single digits? Hell.
Yeah.
Who's has?
Might hit Ezra as well. Let me just.
Will it hit me?
The thing is, Bramble has not been particularly circumspect with some of his casting recently.
Oh no, yeah. It would be calmer, but
Yeah.
60-foot cone, so it's probably gonna hit. Hit has and hit Bramble and
Ezra as well.
Can you not aim this thing?
Well, I mean,
I would say it probably got Sif as well, wouldn't it? From that.
Why don't you just aim it that way?
I can do it like this. Yeah, but that's not flavourful, is it?
Well, I don't know.
Kill little characters. Kill.
Also, I'm not sure the level of precision you could really get in a combat scenario. Just hit whoever you hit.
I think it's going to get everyone. To be honest, it's going to get Cray Cray. It's going to get. That's going to get everyone.
I'm thinking like like a line, and then yeah, it's probably getting.
Yeah, it's
It's
going to
gonna
get
get
everyone.
everyone as well.
Yeah.
I've had enough. hang on though. I might still be able to let you have might be able to sculpt it so you don't friendly save against spell. Yeah. So yeah, you all only take half the damage.
All right.
Oh, good.
Is it automatic saves?
Yeah. But you don't,
If we don't we get like a quarter damage if we still say? Oh no, I'm mentioning that.
I don't think that's a rule.
Have you been playing Pathfinder recently, Mike? Is that a
Can't
different game?
remember.
It doesn't have any particular
hear him out.
rules stuff. But yeah, so you take half as much damage on a successful save, and you basically get your save, so you take half the damage.
Okay.
Okay,
So my guys have all got a save. Okay.
yeah, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
What happens when you turn into a beast king? Does it revert back to your normal self?
Yeah.
And then take any damage.
Excuse me. Okay, so Goliath guy, He's going to fail, I think. What save? Is it wisdom or constitution? And I've got to be 15?
You've got to be. If it's my, it'd be my spell.
Yeah, spell save DC. 18. Okay, so the Goliath fails. Monk also fails. The dwarf, I think he's going to fail. No. He saves, dwarf saves, and the tiefling saves as well. So, tiefling and dwarf save. The... Oh, pardon me.
So 30 cold damage, halved 15. Sorry, House.
Yeah, I'm just fucking. You just see Bramwell just get fucking flipped and just hit the floor, and it's like.
Was the 13 after halving it?
15 after halving.
15?
Yeah.
I was on 16. I'm now on 1.
But you're still alive.
You're amazed to see.
So yeah, I'm knocked out.
Sorry.
And no one killed. No one fucking tries to kill me.
Like just ice explodes out of my hands and like engulfs half the party.
Did Kayla have to save too?
Yeah, everybody.
Oh, sorry.
You don't need to save, it's an auto save.
You just take 15.
You just take 15 damage.
Okay.
Cold damage. Do you have resistance to cold or anything?
I only have resistance to fire.
You take 4 times the reduction.
So, the Goliath gladiator, and the tiefling, like drop from the shards of ice that are now engulfing them and cutting and searing their skin with cold and like chilblains and frostbite, and they're both like groaning and like holding themselves, like, greatly weakened by that effect. Whereas the others just kind of like shrug it off, like they're like, but they like break the ice away for themselves and just carrying on aggressing towards their target. But the Goliath gladiator and the tiefling in front of Bramble are looking a lot worse for wear after that. How's everybody else doing? Is anyone KO'd?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I am.
Not yet. Not far off though.
I'm on 1.
There's a very bloody orangutan next to you.
Anything else? Is that it?
No, it does.
So Bramble, it's your turn. So do you want to do a death save?
Oh
before
no!
you
The worst time to go down.
I know, right? I'm like, fuck's sake. What do I have to beat?
10.
Oh, okay, that's 11. So
10. Nice. So 1 success.
yeah.
Narrowly.
Kayla, your turn.
So we're left with big angry boy that wants sword.
I'm a big angry boy. I want my sword.
Father's sword.
Tiefling mage? No?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It looks like it could be some form of cleric.
Tiefling mage. Is the dwarf? I'm getting confused because who's who now?
Dwarf's a fighter.
There's the redhead.
Dwarf's a fighter, and then
Goliath's some kind of fighter.
yeah, okay.
Who's the guy on the top left?
He's a
Who's the
monk.
top left
That's a
one?
monk.
But he's some race that you've never. I mean, unless you guys want to do some sort of history check to see if you recognise what species he is.
His description reminded me of Githyanki, but I don't know if we know that.
I thought it might be different. But as an orangutan, I have no idea.
I think right now, Kayla's just focused on burning everything.
You a tall man! Remember, there's a number of like darkly attired, angry children on the rooftops.
You can burn
in the
all the
alleyways.
I could do, yeah. Yeah, let's throw a fireball at the roof of children.
Oh god.
Nice.
We were only joking.
Although, well, yeah, you do.
They're not children.
Sensing your motive, Ezra says, I'm sure they'll scatter if we just defeat their champions.
Okay.
Persuasion.
Do you want to do a persuasion check?
Yeah, I'll try and persuade
Yeah. Do you want to do a wisdom
Yeah.
roll in contest against that?
I got 18.
I just rolled that 20.
Those
man, those
fried
kids.
children for dinner, everybody. Okay.
Barbecue children.
I know. There's this bright flash of light and then just the thudding of children.
Are you actually casting it?
Oh, it's like music to my ears, the flooding of children.
Okay.
It's a
So,
slaughter of children.
Caleb.
Are you casting
Oh.
fireball?
No, oh, I don't know. No,
Yeah.
no. I'm gonna cast it, but
Ezra's going to try and counterspell it.
I'm gonna do it more to disrupt them rather than.
Ezra's counterspelling it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna aim for like the wall below them, perhaps.
Just even more of them just pile into this.
She blew my legs off. She's
Uh,
a bitch. Oh my god. Some kind of devil.
is it spell level 3 or lower?
It's 3.
If the spell fails and it has no effect.
Okay.
What are you thinking, trying to hurt the children?
I was gonna just disturb them. I wasn't gonna throw it at them. I was gonna throw it like
She
near
did that,
them
Eric,
to
didn't
scare
she?
them off.
So seeing you two arguing, but having noticed Kayla like turn with intent towards them, the
Oh shit.
spokesperson for the children, he's like, he calls out to you. He's like, "You will not stop our ascension. The city is ours, and we will claim it. We no longer will be forced to live in the shadows, in the street, eating dirt and leftovers. The time is now. When this place is raised, we will inherit it all."
He's an incredible public speaker.
You
And then
know-
well, he does look. He
you
looks
know-
older than the others, and then he's like, "Fire!" Can you all do a dex saving throw, please?
Oh.
No!
Somebody charm this shit.
Can I move?
20, non-natural.
25.
Anybody who got lower than 15 fails. So,
I'm now dodging for my life.
I don't think that they're children, you know, Ezra.
Was it Dex or so?
yeah.
It's like all those other slime creatures. They seemed like they were something else, but they weren't.
I rolled
Pretty sure Bramble told us they were.
Yeah, they're all children. I'm still gonna kill them if I.
orangutans are not very dexterous.
So those of you that failed take 8 points of piercing
Oh,
damages.
this ape is dead.
Yet more arrows
Do I return to?
flood into your
You
flesh.
take any leftover damage on your character.
Okay.
I thought the ape had 19 hit points.
Yes.
Not anymore. Anything else on your turn, Kayla?
I'll just.
Sorry, I can't add your spell.
What happens to Has?
I've heard this group has a history of killing children.
Whoa, not me.
Well, let me see if I can hit him. What's your AC, Has? Is it 15?
17.
17, yeah. The arrows miss you, so you don't take any damage. You don't lose a death save. So is that it, Kayla, or are you doing more?
Yeah, unless I can just like. I don't know. No, because ready in a dodge is a action, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think I can do anything.
You can take a potion.
Oh. Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could give a potion to Has.
Nope. Oh wait, Has is on the floor. Oh,
Yeah.
No, like, you can pick 2 characters as like
Team!
yeah. I don't think I'm anywhere near him though. I'd have
You're
to
10
look.
feet
There's no
away from
potion in
me.
team.
Now I'm too far.
Now, when
I
it
can
comes
try
down
and
to it, now we're seeing what people's priorities
You're
are.
literally
know,
right
right?
above him, Kayla. Give him the potion. Nah, it's too far away.
Too far away.
He's already gone. He's
Can
gone
I
now.
get to shoot?
There's no
Can I
saving
get to
him.
trample? Or would I risk an upshoot? Oh no, we're not with the bloody guy anymore, are we?
You're right.
Oh,
There's
okay.
literally no reason you could.
Yeah, no, yeah. I will help. I'm gonna give you so I can use where's my notes? I can use up to 2 swigs as a bonus action. Could so I'm gonna give 1 to this is my canteen of healing, although it's starting to get a bit on the low side, but I've still got enough. It's 3d6 plus the drinker's constitution modifier.
That's good.
So are you rolling or am I rolling?
I guess I'm rolling because you're unconscious.
Yikes.
And I rolled 11 plus your constitution modifier.
Cool.
Okay, so you're stabilized and regaining consciousness now, I'm assuming, has
Yep.
after that. So you're all right. So Sif turns around to his opposite, and he just grumbles. He's like, "I give you a taste of your own medicine," and he just starts attacking him, and he hits him with a stunning strike, which is going to be a D8 plus 4. So that's 5, which isn't very good. But
This one, the monk, like, we finish a run down stuff, and the monk just comes in and just totally fucking wrecks us.
Kills all of them.
It's like,
In like 1 round.
and I have to do a con save to see if he's stunned.
just don't let him get in the ear. That's how you deal with monks.
And he fails, and he's stunned.
Hey.
So Sif just clocks him and stuns him instantly.
Nice.
Like, so he's just like, birds are spinning around his head, tweeting. And then Sif gets an additional 3 attacks. So
Ugh.
who wants? 3 of you each roll a d20 for me, please, and let's see what you get.
I'll roll one.
Oh, natural 20!
20!
Nice. Okay, so you add. It's. Where is it? It's a d8 plus 4, but obviously it'll be 8 plus 2 d8s plus 4.
I rolled a 9. What does he add to his attack roll then?
Plus 8.
They're 17.
16.
19. Oh, you roll with advantage, by the way, because he's stunned.
Oh, okay. Ooh,
That did not help.
26.
Okay, so who else rolled a higher? Who rolled a higher number?
Cat and mouse.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 17.
17 is a miss. What did you roll, Cray?
Oh, the cat. Do cat.
Kat, what did you roll? Sorry.
26.
Yeah, we'll take that. So roll a d8 and add 4 to the damage, please.
Uh, 6 plus 4, did you say?
Yeah. 8.
10.
A d8 plus 4.
Yeah, 10.
10. Okay, good. Right, so Sif just deals out a series of huge blows to this stunned, pale-skinned monk who's just rocking back and forth poof, 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 poof. So every time he moves to the side, Sif just clocks him and punches him in the other direction towards his other fist, using him like a practice dummy. So that was good. The dung sweepers are all safe. So they're just Cole says to you, "Come on, hurry up and finish him off. I've seen you take on bigger opponents than these. What's the rush? Come on!" And Faith shouts out to you, "Use the charms I gave you. Use the charms. Pray to the gods for help."
There's no gods now!
She's like, "Oh, useless. How do you know if you don't try?" And
Why
Jasper's
don't you
like
do the praying
holding
for
his bum, still like stemming the bleeding in his left butt cheek. Jasper's like, and also, like, what about those nosegays I gave you? If you fall unconscious, you could crack the herbs it's stored
yeah.
inside them to rouse yourself from stupor.
You can use it on yourself.
Why
You
did
use
say
it on
that
yourself
from
when
the
you're
beginning?
unconscious.
Can everyone make a dexterity saving throw as you hear the leader of the children again just go, fire!
Come on, kill that kid.
Oh no.
God, not
Oh
20.
no.
Anyone below 15?
16.
Yeah.
16.
Both of them are below.
21.
And if everyone saved?
Apart from me.
Oh, shit.
16. What do we need?
15. You did it.
16.
Okay. So you take 7 points of piercing damage. There's more arrows. You're looking like pincushions now, some of you. Like, you've just got these shafts buried in intermittent areas of your body.
Are any of these arrows hitting the other guys?
No, they're not
Okay,
aiming at
alright.
the other guys. They're specifically targeting.
Aiming or otherwise, we're pretty close.
These are crack shots, Mike.
I'm sure there's one that's rolled
These
a
are
1.
crack shots. Okay, shall I? Let me see if I do a dex. I'll give you this one thing. See if they
Was that bardic?
and they fail the dex save, so they're all going to take 7 points of damage as well.
Yeah.
As a stray arrow
Ezra just like
catches them.
dodges one arrow as it sails past him and into the tiefling box.
Yeah, like guides it. Just suggests it goes the other way.
I don't feel very well.
Okay.
I'm talking like it's like just an arrow just like sticking out my forehead.
Oh my god.
Oh no. I'm not supposed to be there. I can't do it. They speak in a different language.
So the gladiator takes an arrow like right in his collar, and blood like spurts out of the wound, and he's like, oh! He's like, no, it couldn't like this. I was so close to avenging you, father. So close to getting your shield back, mother. and he's on his knees, just looking about like he's about to collapse. He's like, then he says to the kids, he's like, you stupid little bastards! You're supposed to be helping us. And you hear one of the kids just go, sorry! It's now the
You
monk's
might have
turn.
been. You are a very big target to me.
So the monk is still stunned, so he's out of the game for the time being. It's now the dwarf fighter's turn, who's is going to move around Bramble, and it's like, you can have some as well, and he attacks you, Kayla. I always like to share and spread the wealth. The wealth of pain, that is. So that is 23 to hit, unfortunately. That is
Dang,
definitely
man, you just entered the house of pain.
Yeah.
Knock, knock, who's there?
I may have just
Pain.
done a very
Key pain.
badly planned mercy res.
So you take
Oh, don't worry,
15.
I got an idea.
You take 15 points of slashing damage, Kayla,
Retribution.
and then he
This is it. Start the fire.
Repulsed.
I have just
Can you
FYI,
repulse, Cat?
I'm having some computer issues.
Did you hear what I said? What did you miss, Kat?
Yeah, everything's frozen.
Oh no!
It's probably gonna blue screen any second. It does this sometimes.
Oh shit!
Awesome.
Did you? Can you hear us, Kat?
Yes, I can still hear
Or
you.
did you make a note of the damage I just said?
Yeah, I will. I've
Okay.
got pen and paper in front of me.
I just hit you again with another attack. So that is another
So-
four slashing. He gets 2 more attacks. So this is, and he fumbles, and in his enthusiasm, as he swings his axe around, he goes. Bramble's still just kind of like hunched over, trying to recover, and it slashes the chest of the tiefling who's like, "Oh, watch it!" And delivers. More than his HP that he's got left. And so the dwarf accidentally beheads the tiefling, who doesn't realise that he's being decapitated. The blow is so neat and swift. And he's like, as he says, "Watch it!" And he's like, "Oh!" And his head just slides forwards off his neck and drops and rolls underneath Bramble's legs. And he's just got an expression of like mild surprise fixed it on his features as this geyser of blood is just going out of his neck as his body collapses.
Cat just dropped.
Oh shit.
Shit. Oh well, you took the cleric out by an inadvertent fumble. So
Nice.
But he does have one more attack. He's like, "Oh shit! Ah well, I never fucking liked him anyway. Ah!" And he 16. Is that a miss on Kayla? It is, isn't it?
I'm back. I'm back.
Kayla, what's your AC these days?
It's only like 13.
You sure it's not 15? Is it not 15?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, you take another hit from the dwarf, but he fumbled on the previous attack and inadvertently killed the tiefling cleric. He accidentally beheaded him. So you take 7 points of slashing.
Okay.
And
So what was it? I've got 15, 4, and 7. Right.
Yeah.
I really hope he doesn't hit me again.
That's his turn's over. So the gladiator on his knees, blood spurting from this arrow wound that's just wedged in his clavicle. He tries to make an attack against Cracra's like, "No! I will go down fighting like my father would want me to!" And that's a 21 to hit against you, Cracra. That's a hit, isn't it? 21.
Yeah, I'll parry that.
You're going to parry it, okay. So it's going to be 2d6, so that's 13, so what are you going to reduce that to?
Reduce it by 8.
Okay. So it's 4, you take 4. But he does have other attacks. So he turns and he's like, "Ah!" And he tries to backhand towards Grogget. Oh my god, that's a big hit. That's a 26 to hit on Grogget. And that's 12, 16 points of piercing slashing damage.
So yeah, he's unconscious.
And he's like, "Yes! Now vengeance is mine on the doorway to death.
Oh, stop hitting me!
Upon death's threshold, I will claim victory from the jaws of defeat." And he makes one more attack at Cray, and that's an 18.
He's quite poetic for a Goliath.
It's 25 to hit Cray.
Should have took a different career path, honestly.
That's
Would've lasted
9 points of slashing.
I don't want us all to die.
What's happened to you? He's got coronavirus.
The bard is dead, so he's no longer gone. So it's now Ezra's turn, back to the top of the round.
Ezra's going to bravely cast greater invisibility on himself.
I love it.
Nice.
Hold on.
And he's going to start to make his way over to... There was one kid who was like a bit more outspoken. He seems to be like the leader of them,
He's
right?
definitely appears to be the leader. He's a bit older.
How long would it take for me? Can I reach him this round, or will it take a couple of
I
rounds to
think
get?
it'll take a couple of rounds to get there.
Alright, I'll start making my way over
Okay.
I like it.
invisibly.
I like it.
Sorry, I'm back. It crashed again.
Oh shit. Sorry, Cat.
No, I don't know why it's doing this. It's usually fine. Do a clear out this PC.
So Ezra, are you dashing? Oh no, you used an action to cast the spell.
Yeah, so it's just my regular movement.
Okay. Yeah, it'll take
He's
you
always dashing.
a couple of
To
rounds.
be fair, I could probably cast Expeditious Retreat, because that's not a spell. Sure, I'll do Expeditious Retreat as a bonus action.
Clever.
Is
I
it,
like
was
it.
that a spell? Oh, no, that is a spell. Never mind,
Oh,
ignore me.
okay. Oh, well. I was hoping that would work. So Cray, your turn. So the Goliath is the enlarged Goliath on his knees, bleeding profusely from numerous wounds,
28 to hit.
and he's focused entirely on trying to reclaim his weapons from Grogan, and that is a hit. So roll your damage.
16 slashing and 5 fire.
Okay, how do you end him?
Oh.
What's your finishing move?
As he's talking, I'm just going like that and just take his head off.
So it's like, and now I will retrieve her. and where his jaw, upper jaw and bottom jaw connect, they're suddenly just separated as the top of his head flies off and splatters upon the flagstones.
And,
But he's still talking like.
kick his body over.
And it-
Use my.
There's a lot of beheading going on.
I use my
Yeah,
action to
stop.
pour a potion down Grog's throat.
all right. So roll those healing.
It's, what is it? It's a potion of greater healing.
Those healing dice.
I can't think. Prepare yourself for 4d4.
4, 8.
You get that.
Okay, so it's now your turn, Grog.
Going down and then immediately standing up.
Like a yo-yo.
It's like, oh, I wish you'd stop hitting me really hard. Oh, he's dead.
His tongue's still flapping in his mouth.
Looking at him, is he got anything good on him?
He's got some stuff.
Any heirlooms?
This is how we got into this situation.
He's carrying a gigantic axe. You don't know if it's an heirloom or not.
Does it look like it's like got names or dates on it or?
No, but it's
or
In the middle of combat, you're like looking at this axe. Like,
Yeah, he's a bit disorientated from just being.
it's just a big fuck off axe.
Does it have 4
Great
Gs?
axe.
Can I looking at that? Can I pick up the axe and then just like at the dwarf like just
There's
throw
an
it?
improvised attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Don't you have proficiency with martial weapons?
Yeah.
So you'd be able to use this as if you would any. So make a ranged weapon attack, but with disadvantage because it's a bit asking a bit much. Does a great axe actually have stats for?
you can't normally throw it.
Mechanics for.
D&D, you can throw anything you like. You can do anything you like. So you just tell us, but it's not normally a ranged weapon.
Yeah, he's an ogre. He can handle it. He can do this. What did you get?
15 was my lowest.
15. That's a miss.
Okay,
So
well,
the axe just goes, whoop, 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 and the dwarf like sees it out of the corner of his eye, like whoa! He's like click at me, and the axe just goes spinning like across the court.
Let's not draw a straight line from where it might have
I
gone.
was gonna say isn't that heading towards you, Ezra? Isn't that heading towards you, Ezra?
I'm pretty sure that's a straight line. I like the way I can't see you, so I can't even relate.
No, I don't think that gets you. You know, no.
Just an axe just stops and blood just trickles down in midair.
Did it hit the kid?
I mean, where are you, Ezra?
You try it that touch more.
Oh my god. Okay,
I just
you're
got
gonna
corona
have
in
to
my
do a
ears.
dex saving throw for that, Ezra.
Okay, let's see if I like sense something coming from behind.
You just hear like woof, 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 woof.
16.
Yeah, you're fine. It's narrow though. It's a narrow miss. It's like it just flies straight in front of you, like and ruffles your hair.
And hits the
What's
kid.
left of your hair that's slowly growing back.
It's not like a game weapon where
Doesn't
it
hit
just, like,
anybody.
infinitely just goes straight.
Then it embeds itself in one of the stone walls at the farthest end of the.
I thought you were going to say one of the children.
No kids were harmed during this stream.
And then can I run towards the dwarf, having missed him?
Yeah.
And attack him with. I guess I can't get out another weapon, so I just attack him with my fists.
Okay.
And million to hit.
Yeah.
Do we say D6 for his arms? Oh no, D8 you've got down here. 1D8. That is 8 bludgeoning damage.
8 bludgeoning. Okay.
As I just sort of barrel towards him and go, doof! Yeah.
So he's going to parry that. So that is. So what was it in total? Was it? No, it was a huge hit, wasn't it?
It's like.
Yeah, that's not going to help him anyway. So yeah, okay. So 8 to hit. Forget that. Forget my parrying reflex. So the dwarf's like, he's like, "Where'd you come from, big boy?" As you like battering him across the back.
Yeah, that's it.
Bramble, you're up.
Yeah, so Bramble getting up, noticing the tiefling's head between his legs, he's just gonna get angry and he's gonna turn around at this dwarf with like fluid dribbling from his mouth, and he's like, "This one was mine, you witch!"
Oh.
And he's gonna use toxic tongue on this guy.
Okay.
So it is a where is it? So I'm gonna spit poison at the foe. Range spell attack. All right, cool. 24 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Nice. So yeah, I'm just gonna you see this black dribble coming from the side of my mouth as I just fucking spew on this guy.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like.
So the dwarf's just like, "Oh, disgusting, you nasty bastard!" Ah!
And then he takes 4d6 poison damage.
Okay.
Oh shit, it's a dwarf.
Yeah, he's going to be immune to poison. Well, is he resistant? Yeah.
That's 17 poison damage.
Okay, so it's 8 because dwarves have a natural resistance to poison.
So as a bonus action, I can apply the poison to a weapon. So I lick my what the hell is it called? Oh yeah, you're gonna see some weird shit. So I lick my pitchfork and then I go to strike him with it as well.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So that's 24 to hit.
24, yeah, so hit, yeah.
So that's also got poison damage on. So, well, even though, well, now it does, right?
Mm.
So it's 46 plus 1d10. Six. 12, 18 poison damage and 6 piercing.
Okay. Okay, so being impaled by the prongs, which works its way through the chinks in his plate armor. The dwarf is like, "Ah!" He's like, "Oh, you sneaky bugger! Oh!" And he's starting to look like wan and drawn as he's being bled. Basically, you can see like the blood pouring out over the plate armor and dripping down onto the floor from the various wounds he's suffered. And his face and beard are stained black from the bile. He's got no beard, has he? Yeah, you burn it off. So his face and the remnants of his singed hair are now like blackened by the volley of spume that you covered him in. So is that it for you, Bramble?
Oh, yeah.
Kayla, your turn.
Righty-ho. Hold on. The computer's very slow. I am going to use another lightning bolt, I think. And I'm going to go for, if possible, the dwarf and... Oh, is the guy who wanted the weapons dead now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Grog. Sorry, I was confused. I'm not going to do that. I thought Grog was... Yeah, let's not do
No
that.
friendly fire.
Okay, I'm going to use my Scorching Rays then, and I'm going to put them all into this dwarf.
All right.
Go.
So...
No mercy.
Okay. So first one... Oh, first one was a nat 20.
That looks like you just ate a can. Sorry, Cat, what was that?
First one was a nat 20 to hit.
Oh, excellent. Oh, I think this could be his end. I think this could
So
be
what
his
is
end,
it?
everyone.
Total and then roll,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
it's...
So whatever the damage dice are, total, and then double the damage dice roll.
Yeah, so 12 plus 16, so 28.
Oh yeah. So
28 fire damage, that first one.
that's it. Like
That's it?
he's incinerated. Tell us what happens.
Okay, I go to just throw a first one in retaliation because he has literally nearly downed me. So I just go straight for his head, just one big ray straight through his skull.
Okay, so you just you turn his head into like a cinder. It's just like a candle wick on the top of his body, just like smoking as the flames
It's
disappear.
like a carved pumpkin after you've left it outside after Halloween.
Just blackened and
and it just like
caved in.
shrinks down.
Yeah. So he's like, and then his face just disappears and crushes down into this singed little like protrusion above his neck, and then his body collapses. He's down.
Is that a spell where you can choose other targets?
So
Yes, I can.
So yeah,
There is one other.
there is one other.
Can I go for the other guy?
The stunned monk, and he's stunned, so you get advantage on the attack.
So I'm just gonna like panic a little bit there because he nearly freaking got me. And I'm gonna look around and I'm gonna aim for the guy on the ground as well with the next one. So that one was a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Cool. Well, that was 9 fire damage.
Okay.
And then I'll send the final one at him as well. That was 15 to hit.
That's a miss.
Okay,
Is that with advantage? Remember?
Oh, with advantage.
Mm.
Oh, much better. That is 19 to hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Cool. And that one was only 5 fire damage.
Okay. Okay, so he takes the hits, but he's still just like, even though his skin is singeing and boiling from the flames, and you hear the children scream in frustration and dismay as you, like, one by one dispatch their champions. And the leader is like, no! No! You will not stop our ascension! You will not stop the rise of the great beasts! The great destroyers will still come! You cannot prevent this from happening!
That's no kid. He's a goo.
Would this
That's
be
what
an
everyone
appropriate
always
time for Ezra to reach him?
I would say that you could get there on your turn because
Okay.
the thing is, even though this is the thing, this GIF is stunned, and so it's Sif's go. So I'm gonna. So we'll play this out and see how far it goes. I'll just do one more round and we'll see how this goes. So can 3 of you? No, it's 4. Can 4 of you roll a d20 and add a 8 to the attack, please?
I'll do
23.
Yeah, that's a hit. So roll a d8 and add 4 to it, please.
Yes, sir.
21.
All with
With-
advantage, yeah.
What do you add to the roll?
A
4.
+8.
Plus 8.
Ooh.
24.
That's a hit. Anything over 19, 19 or above will be a hit.
25.
Yeah,
A million.
yeah. So all 4 of those hit. So can you all roll a d8 and add +4 to the damage, please?
12.
Okay.
9.
Yeah.
Also 12.
Oh.
Yeah.
I what to it?
+4.
5.
So Sif just like takes full advantage of this creature's incapacitation and just like hammering him, like elbow strikes, like kneeing him and just bludgeoning him to death. And but the monk is still like inherently tough. Like his willpower prevents him from going down, and he's still standing despite being bruised and bloodied. And it's like, and the kids are screaming in frustration. And he says, "Fire! Fire! Take them out! They're nearly dead themselves! They can't take much more!" And they fire another volley of arrows. Can you all do a dex saving throw for me, please?
Oh, Lord.
Does Ezra need to?
Bramble got
I'm
a
not
20.
near the rest of them.
You have advantage on this, Ezra.
Okay.
They're just guessing like where you might be.
16?
That's a save. Yep, you're fine.
22.
Oh,
Yep, you're fine.
No.
Oh no.
Again.
Cray,
For the
Cray.
10.
Oh dear. Bramble.
21.
Yeah, you're good. So Bog, Grog, and Cray fail, so they're going to take 9 points of piercing damage as more arrow shafts embed themselves in your bodies, various areas, maybe a thigh, ribs,
Ow!
back, shoulder.
Not supposed
And
to
so
be
Bog's got like one of those heads like, I'm tired to find it, and then like another one just like pierces through his cheek. He's just like,
Oh no!
And the
No,
GIF
you
fails its saving throw, so it's stunned, and I'll say that will class as a defeat, really. So Sif just kind of like grabs him and puts him in a like a restraining hold, and holds him in place. And the kid's like, "No, retreat, retreat!" So Ezra, your turn. What are you doing? I would say that in this turn you can definitely.
Perhaps unnecessary at this point. So whilst invisible, I'm going to approach their leader.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kind of stand behind him and then bring a blade sort of against his throat, which he'll feel the cold touch of.
So
And I'll just sort of say
Yeah,
to his
man.
ear, feel my blade against your throat and know that a wrong move will be your last.
so
We have slain your champions. Tell your friends that the day is lost. They must retreat into the night, and they shall have their chance again. But you stay here. We have questions for you.
oh.
So as he's barking, or
Oh.
suddenly he's like, "Oh no!" And as he feels the blade, he's like, and he listens to what you have to say, and he's like, "My fellows, flee into the shadows, regroup. I have a blade at my throat. Do as I say. I will endeavour to free myself and return to you before the rise of the destroyers. Now, go! Don't let them catch you!" And all of a sudden, all the children like raise their hoods of their dark garb over their heads, and it's like they just melt into the shadows.
before they go, can we do anything before they go?
What would you like to try
I would
and
like
attempt?
to. Grog just wants to throw a javelin at a child.
A child. All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Bramble wants to cast something as well.
Okay.
Ooh.
26.
Yeah. Okay. So as before one of the children is about to raise their hood, this javelin sails from the core and impales him right below like the diaphragm, and he just goes flying backwards through the ranks of other children that are arrayed upon the rooftop. He's like, ah! And he hits a chimney and collapses dead, blood trickling from his mouth. Which Ezra, you see all of this, and the children are like, "You will be avenged, Michael."
Michael!
Is he a real kid?
From what Ezra can tell, it looks to be a normal human child,
Oh,
except for
shit.
the shadow melting abilities that they all seem to have.
We needed a kid to check, so I'm going to start heading towards the child I met.
Bramble, what was it you'd like to do
We,
before
I
that?
tried to do this the peaceful way.
Oh yeah, Bramwell's gonna attack as well. He's gonna cast
You are the most
Eldritch Blast.
What are you going to cast?
Eldritch Blast.
Oh, okay.
So a ranged spell attack. So
It's just like, I just
So
like
seeing that
So
being
24?
cast, Ezra's going to try and counterspell that, which will actually it won't drop his invisibility. So I'm
So
going to counterspell that.
Ezra tries to counter
What level spell is it?
oh, it's a cantrip.
Then it's countered.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh fuck! I'm just gonna point my fucking finger at you, man.
You don't know where I am.
You can hear
Oh, I
Faith.
can.
You can't see him.
You
I
hear
can't see you.
Faith. You hear Faith saying like, "They're just children. But please, there must be a better way to resolve this than just to murder them."
just Daenerys in it up. I'm just like
Oh, no.
burning children. I'm down anyway, honestly.
Ezra, I know that was you. I will find you.
Oh no! It's turned evil!
And Cole, you hear Cole as he's coming out from the way. He's like, "That was a bit harsh, was it? That was a bit harsh."
No.
They're not really children.
Oh,
They're,
it was Grog who threw it. He probably didn't know.
they're oozes.
They're oozes, aren't they?
They're bad oozes.
So Ezra, from your vantage, but you guys also see it as well, but he gets a really clear view of this. As soon as their cowls are like the hoods are drawn over their heads, they just melt into shadows and disperse. Like it's like a cloud of shadow just moving away from the rooftops and down.
Do we see that?
Yeah.
Good kids do that. Probably.
No kid either.
So I'll just say, because I hear you say that, it's like, we'll find out. And I'll kind of like nudge him forwards towards the rest.
So, I will cooperate. There's no need to draw any further blood. And we'll end that session now.
Not yet, anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll resume next time.
And no one dies properly.
You like that.
I was
I don't
like
like
it.
it. I had to do a death save.
He's not a real kid. We all know it's not real.
Okay, so
Always the news.
yeah, so we'll pick up next week, next Wednesday, and hopefully everyone can make it.
Will we get XP for that?
Yeah, I'll give you XP in it when we
Can I
sign.
have all the XP that Dwarf had?
No, it will be evenly distributed. Okay, so that's it for this week's session. Thank you for all you guys for playing. Thanks to everybody that was watching us.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed it. Has anyone got anything they want to promote or wash your hands?
Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Hand
Yeah.
sanitizer.
If you're one of those dirty bastards that doesn't ever wash your hands,
Yeah.
start washing your
Oh,
hands.
fuck's sake, yeah, Jesus Christ. I swear to God, if I catch you in the gym, go taking a whiz and then not washing your hands, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
that's gross.
Wash your
Don't touch
fucking
your
hands,
face.
you dirty grubber.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Anything else? Sorry, I interrupted.
No.
No?
Nope.
Okay, so I'll just do my usual spiel in the vain hope that it makes any difference whatsoever. Oops. I've got adventures on the DM's Guild that are available to purchase at reasonable prices that I have written. So the first is Fox and the Fae, which is set in the Feywild. It's an intriguing, challenging adventure. The second is a winter festive adventure called Craftmas with Gremlins, inspired by a movie that shares a similar title. And Craig did some art for those two. And then there's also the Blood Ties anthology, which my adventure, The Crimson Well, is part of, and that's also available on the DM's Guild. and there are like 12 other adventures in there that are all excellent as well. And some of the Misfits provided art for my adventure, which was Craig and Kat and Mike Kelly and Saren. So yeah, please check them out. Please consider buying them, because it helps support not only the community of D&D creators and the hobby itself, but also us personally. And we would greatly appreciate any kind of support or promotion. So yeah, that's it from us. Thank you for watching us, and we will be back next Wednesday at the same time, about 8ish. And until then, be kind, be creative, and play D&D, and wash your fucking hands.
Stay healthy.
Wash your fucking hands. I've got more swords.
Oh.
Swap.